But बहुत ही like I see you expressing so much, and and not just you. I feel that मैं अभी जितने भी modern dads को देखती हूँ, I feel that millennial fathers are something just so expressive, just like more soft. So I want to ask you कि आपके हिसाब से what changed? What changed with this generation of men?
Honestly, again, I feel like it is nurturing relationships. We've all had relationships which have taught us to care about our own emotion. And when you dig down into any man who is angry or upset or unhappy, there is an emotional boy, who wants a hug. And that is always the case, right? And for every man who's either gotten that hug and now feels more empowered in their body to be able to give those hugs out into the world, or to men who've not got enough of them and want to have the freedom to do so. Having a child is really like the best thing to happen in either case, right? Because अगर आप बाहर जाके वो भी कभी आपको जजमेंट मिल जाती है, अगर अपनी वाइफ के साथ भी पीड़िया कर रहे हो आपको जजमेंट मिल जाएगी. बच्चे के साथ प्यार करोगे तो बहुत ही कम लोग होते हैं कि तुम बच्चों को भी प्यार करते. So that is the one place and one space where men can truly just be soft without being judged, without being mocked, without being bullied. And that is, I feel like, why you see men, at least of a modern generation, being so truly happy. Because we want to express ourselves. A child is really like the most beautiful thing that can happen to you in your life. And it gives you permission to be as soft as possible without receiving harsh looks.
Wow, that's wonderful. But like, you keep saying that I'm a girl dad now. I'm a girl dad now. What's the happiest part about being a girl dad?
I mean, there is not any part that is not happy. There is literally nothing, मैं कितना सुना है, मैं बताऊं तो मैं बहुत इरिटेट होता था. मैं जब से सबसे एडवाइस लेता था ना, lot of people I used to ask, I'm about to be a dad, any advice, anything, etc. The first thing I've received from men, तुम जितना सोना भी सो जाओ, बाद में जाके तुम्हें नींद नहीं आने वाली.
अच्छा.
तुम्हें नींद नहीं मिलेगी, तुम्हें सोना नहीं होगा, whereas when you ask women, they'd always be like, just take care of emotions and mental health and this and that, whatever. But in men, it's always been कि तुम्हें नींद नहीं आएगी. And ever since I've had my baby, I'm like, मुझे नींद चाहिए भी नहीं है. Who wants to sleep when you have a miracle in front of you? Honestly speaking, the first 45 days of, because Daisy was recovering, my wife was recovering from the delivery, I mean, again, we made a decision. I said, for the first month, 1.5, 2 months, let me take the night shift. You take, you rest it out in the night. You take because she anyway has to breastfeed, she has to do all the other important work of a mother. We made her sleep in a separate room. कि तुम आराम से सो रात को. I'll take care, you don't worry. And the first 45 days, I got to stay up for and with my child. And I am telling you, it is the greatest privilege of my life to have gotten to do that, because I bonded with her. I could identify what her cries meant. I've literally seen her grow in my arms, and I feel so terrible for the fathers who don't have the privilege that I did, because I took paternity leave. It's my own company. I said, मैं तो लूँगा, मैं तो जा रहा हूँ, मैं नहीं आने वाला office. And that privilege is the thing that genuinely afforded me the most beautiful relationship with my daughter that I could not have had, the bond I could not have had to this extent if I did not spend those first few days, first few weeks with her. The difficult part of being a mother also is that 9 months you have to carry the child in your body, and it's not an easy thing to do. Having said that, you also get 9 months of being a mother before the father ever gets to be a father. You meet your child on the day the child comes out. You have to create the bond on day one, and for me it's really, what else would you do with your time? What TV show is more important? What film is more important? What friend is more important? What work is more important? What life is more important than a child who you have given birth to? So there is nothing about having a child that makes me unhappy. I am on cloud 9 every single day, every single moment, because I'm a father.
डेजी को, आपकी वाइफ को देखने का आपका नजरिया कुछ बदला है? लाइक हैव यू बिगन टू एम्पैथाइज विथ हर मोर एज अ वुमन? व्हाट हैज चेंज्ड?
I've always had a lot of love and respect for her.
Of
So,
course.
there is
Yeah.
very little that has changed in that respect, right? Again, you theoretically hear these things, right? That woman is carrying a child, she's going to have a baby. But it is a fucking miracle. When you see in the operation theater a human being come out of your wife, of your partner, it is the most insane visual. You are just in awe. How did a body create this miracle? I'm just like, it's insane. Just the 9 months of pregnancy and the birth, and of course then after that the breastfeeding, after that all the other things that come with being a mother, it doesn't even compare with anything that a man has to go through.
But do you have any fears because you are raising a girl in this world? What are your fears?
Yeah, it's the same fear, right? I am obviously a person of this world, so I know the world we live in, and I get too happy. Like when I feel too full of joy when I'm with her, I just suddenly get some really scared, that I don't want this girl to be hurt. And I know she will be hurt. I mean, everybody is going to get hurt. There's no two ways around it, right? But the ways in which women are hurt are very different than the ways in which men are hurt. And again, I don't want to reduce what boys go through, because I've been a boy. Obviously, I've gone through this myself. I know it's been a hard journey, but at the same time, what women go through just does not compare on any front. And especially in the world we live in, which is so unsafe. I read news. I'm one of the few people I know who still reads newspapers in the morning, right? And literally, even in 2025, you open a newspaper, there are at least gender based crimes, at least one on every single page.
Yeah.
And it breaks my heart because these are the ones that are just getting reported.
Correct.
Think about all the crimes that are being committed that don't even get reported, From harassment to rapes to murders of women, it really, really sinks my heart when I read that. I'm very aware of the fact that there is a certain kind of child sexualization also on the internet, and especially, girl child sexualization. So I make sure that, and this is, again, I've just become that person who, when I'm putting up a baby's picture, of course, I don't put her face on that because I don't want her face to be out there and used in any other way than, what I intend to be, which is just a joyful thing. And be even things like, if a diaper is visible, I'll cover it up, and it's not something that I'm doing because I'm orthodox or conservative in any way. But I'm just very scared of who is seeing this on the internet. And what kind of perspective are they seeing it from? तो मुझे वो चीज़ें अभी हैं, अब वो क्या कर सकते हो? But again, as you said, if I can help with raising a strong girl in my home and help create more sensitive men through the work I do at BI Mania, I'll feel less anxious about her growing up in this world.
Yeah, and I don't think Noor is going to be a good girl. I don't think she is, because
See, I think
she has also, I've not, मैंने इतनी ज़्यादा बात नहीं की है Daisy के साथ, but I just know that she's just so savage.
Daisy is a badass.
तो
Daisy
मुझे नहीं
is
लगता कि
extremely savage,
good girl.
mostly to me. So who's a little bit more like me in demeanor. Having said that, I do want her to be a badass as well. I want her to take up space. I want her not only to go through this world as anybody's daughter, but as her own identity, right? And yet, again, I just really want to make sure that she's safe in the world. That is really just the only job that I feel I have, apart from raising as I said, a strong girl. But just create a world around me that is as safe as possible for her to live in.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, subscribe and share.